All right. So, a lot to talk about this week, but I have one thing that we both want to share, and it's just quite a nice clip. It's the amazing Jesse Lee Patterson and Kyle Kalinske. Both have the exact same politics, and yeah, this is just an interview. We love the alpha, beta index and stuff. That is our invention.
That
It's nice
dichotomy.
to see somebody with a big platform embracing it and using the analytics that we've given. So here is Jesse Lee Patterson versus Kyle Kalinske. And we're just going to play one little part of it. And let me make sure the volume's cool on this. There we go.
And smack up on the stage there when that was.
There we go, right there.
When that was said.
That's Marcos Malitzis.
Beta.
He's the founder of the Daily Kos.
No wonder. So,
no wonder.
So Kyle, I read that you are an atheist. Is that true?
Yes.
And why?
One more time.
Discussion or anything like that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that's cleared up. Who was that little beta guy that gave you a hand smack up on the stage there when that was said?
That's Marcos Malitzis.
Beta.
He's the founder of the Daily Kos.
No wonder.
You know what my favorite part about that is? He does the like Jim Jones ballin'. He does it like that. Beta. Underrated remix back in the day.
Yeah.
Was that song?
Totally. One of the best New York rappers of that era when New York was having a tough hip hop time.
And then they started rapping like Southern people, and then they became good again.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Dude, that used to make people so mad. The ASAP Rocky, like all the old heads that I knew, like they would just be like, "You can't sound like you're from Texas, man. Like you just can't do it."
Yeah.
I was always laughing. Like, what do you mean you can't sound like where you're from? Like, you have to sound exactly like where you're from geographically.
Yeah.
That
like, was when, Creedence
totally. Clearwater would have been fucked. Yeah, I mean,
Berkeley. Beta.
I know,
dude. That's like our theme clip right there. We're gonna keep that rolling. We're gonna bust that out a lot. That'll be on our soundboard.
People that think we like Trump, that's not gonna help our case there. Well, Jesse Lee Patterson. Yeah, we're not really like. Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's funny.
We got to go on a show and like aggressively call him a beta multiple times. Just like flip the table on him. You know, like picture.
No, you have to. That's how you alpha from the beta. It's basically like in wrestling, right? When they let you start, like you got the dude on top like that, like, and then you're on all fours, and like, you could still win from there. You know what I mean? That's how we gotta do it, man. I mean,
totally.
So, all right, there's a lot of shit that we got to get to. Dude. Since the last episode, it's crazy. We like record an episode, and then the minute we're done, some crazy shit happens. I feel like I don't know. And what happened was there was another police attempted execution of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin, and I don't like. Okay, it's one of these things where it's like we do become kind of numb to this stuff, and I'm saying this as a white person. I don't think black people are numb to it ever. I don't care. I don't think anytime they see it, I think it's like fucking triggering every time. But I'm saying to me, it's like it's kind of numbing because it's like it's literally the same script that happens every single time. This happens, right? Everybody is outraged, rightfully so. It's like you should not be, he's paralyzed, I believe. I believe he's paralyzed, but like he will live through it. But
paralyzed and chained to the fucking hospital bed, right?
And not read his rights. Yeah, I believe that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. I don't know, but like they're saying he was unaware of why he was there, right? I think the police were there serving a warrant. He's allegedly not a great guy. You know what I mean? Jacob Blake, like he has a pending rape charge or pending rape case. I believe they were there to serve the warrant, if I'm not mistaken, of like him raping a 14-year-old. Like it's not good, and like again, innocent until proven guilty. But what I mean would have been a real shame if we got to trial on that. You know what I mean? Like
the cops are judge, jury, and executioner, right? That's like, isn't that part of our constitution? Like right to a fair and speedy trial. Right. Yeah. Like
it's like look, like I'm even whether he did or didn't do it, I'm pretty sure I know what the jury's ruling was going to be on that.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely. I don't know. And then like, okay, so you get the outrage, you get the this must stop, ew, disgusting. Like you get all these like tweets, and you're kind of like, okay, man, like you guys realize this keeps happening, right? And I'm more so speaking to like the white liberal media type people, more so like because like with black people again, like they have to live this, you know what I mean?
It's the thoughts and prayers, you know, kind of thing. It's the trite, you got to say something kind of vibe, you know.
Yeah, I have to have a statement.
White. Yeah.
Then you get the like right winger kind of like, well, you know, he was a rapist. So I mean, like if that was your daughter, like it's like I wouldn't call the cops to come kill him.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like
shouldn't be. Wait, I lost what I was gonna say, but yeah, the fucking conservatives are going nuts now. Like I've never seen. Like I know they've always been kind of that way.
They get crazier and crazier.
They're getting weird now. Yeah. They're getting weird. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Yeah,
I don't know what they're trying to like. Okay, I don't know. It's one of those things now, and there's people that try to have these conversations. I see the same debates. Like I've been on social media for a long time, and like when Trayvon Martin was murdered by George Zimmerman, I saw the exact same debates.
Yeah.
As what I saw right now. So what does that tell you, right? You're really not how people feel is how they feel right now. Like they're not going to come around on police brutality.
It's a belief center. These belief structures create this. It's like a bot could write this at this point, you know, the way people react to this shit, you know, exactly. Like a robot. Yeah.
And it's like, it's one of those things, like I said, we're pretty class first on everything, but there's an obvious racial element here. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, there is no getting around that. There's an obvious racial element to it. And like, again, being a bad person is not a death sentence on site. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't even believe in the death penalty, period. Honestly, I really am not. I'm like against capital punishment.
Yeah.
Like I just am.
Yeah.
Like I
especially with the amount of false convictions that are out there. It's insane, dude.
That's why.
Yeah.
Like I'm just
although I've thought about this. It's a little off topic, but if I was falsely convicted and had to spend any length of time more than 20 years, 20, 30 years in prison or lifetime. Yeah, I'd be like, do it, dude. Just this is not. Yeah, just take me out. Yeah.
No, you're right. Exactly.
There's no Whole Foods in prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No.
Is there? There's not. No, there's not.
Quinoa Bowl. Are they hooking that up?
No, they're not. I'm looking here at the Rikers Island menu. I do not see a quinoa option. No vegan options. Disgusting. Shut it down. Defund the police.
There's a goat cheese salad with fennel and
yeah.
No, but
isn't that funny? No, you know what I hate? When my other rhetoric is the people who think prisoners have it really good. You ever like talk to those people where they're like, dude, those guys eat like kings in there.
Yeah. A lot of people try and go back to prison, you know.
Again, what does that say about life out of prison? I used to know a guy. I used to know a guy who. Oh fuck, we're getting way off topic. But I used to know a guy who like he did like 20 combined years in jail, and like he earned it. He's like, yeah, I earned it. It's not like falsely accused and shit. But after a while, he's like, dude, I was like hopped up. I was on drugs and all that kind of shit. But I'd be out of jail, couldn't get. I'd try to go like apply at a couple places, get turned down. I would just throw a fucking brick through a window somewhere. And just be like,
ironically, jail is one of the most socialized aspects of society. Right? That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah,
like, all your shit's taken care of.
He's like, it's like Jadakiss has a line. So I know people that go to jail just to get their teeth fixed. Like it's like I honestly like I'm not saying they do, but like I mean it's one of those things. Like hey, I'm homeless in jail. I get 3 meals a day. I'm probably in the same kind of danger as being homeless. Maybe you know certain areas heightened more, but like. It's crazy, but nonetheless, with Jacob Blake, again, it shouldn't be a death sentence on site. Like that's come on, like you know what I mean. Yeah. So nonetheless, again, the same script's happening. There's riots, right? There's riots. There's protests. Mm-hmm. Some peaceful, some are co-opted, fucking diner shit. You know, like the diner, and then you get you get people like you always get some radical, right? Like for as pissed off as people are about police brutality. The right wing gets pissed off at protests like as much, which is shitty. Yeah. It's, you know what I'm saying? So we have this guy, and I'm forgetting his name. Is it Kyle Riddington or something? Ritter? Let me see. What is his name? Kyle. Yeah. I mean, I don't think his name. Kyle Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse Productions.
Beta.
Absolutely to the core. Absolute Jesse Lee Patterson beta, which Jesse Lee Patterson probably loves this guy, but like the
he's like
we know Aubrey Huff.
of all
We know
time.
Aubrey Huff loves him, worships
Jesus
him.
Christ,
And so here is the here he is, this guy. So I thought this was crazy. So he killed 2 people and at the protest, right? He was armed up. He killed 2 people, right? And then the right wing defense is that he was being attacked, right? Is that what they're saying?
Right, yeah, they were chasing him, and it was self-defense, basically. Yeah,
self-defense. Yes, I love self-defense when you're willingly armed, like, and just like
when your mom drives you 25 minutes over a state border illegally with a firearm that you're
underage
not supposed to have there.
Too. Yeah,
Underage.
Like, self-defense. And look at the guys behind him. It's like, I'm sorry, like in this picture right here, you got like, like there's, and I'll get to it. Like, it's like, I just was completely by myself, like lone wolf. It's like, no. And then like, okay, they were saying, then there's like the legal bros, you know what I mean? That are always like, that are always like, well, good luck proving first degree murder on that, or like second degree murder on that, because you have to prove intent. It's like, he's wearing literal gloves, like with like trying to like hide print. He went out there looking for blood. Look at
our boy Sean, dude, with the comment. Sorry,
hi Sean. Hi Sean. Shout out listener of the show. Hi Sean 808. Oahu Raider,
pussy dude.
Oh yeah. He said American flag Crocs. No, this guy said something really fucking funny. American history never gonna get sex. Yeah. Shout out.
He's all curb stomping his dick preemptively.
Yeah. This guy fucking sucks, dude. I'm sorry. Like, and I saw like a lot of things. I don't even know where to start with him.
He sucks, but it's like he's literally fucking brainwashed by his mom. I'm not defending it, but it's like
when you're 17, you have to like. There's got to be something in your upbringing. You don't usually go like hard like neo-Nazi, like when you're
people and I've like people that have like hella weird parents that don't rebel against them at some point in their teens are like they do shit like this. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like this is what. Yeah, dude. Fucking
exactly. And he's
wild.
wanted to be a cop his entire life. He wanted to be a cop his entire life.
The video I was just telling you about of him in the bathroom mirror, like literally like, oh my God, he wants to be a cop. And he's like, bang, 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 bang. It's like, that's what you think a cop is, right? Is literally firing rounds off, right? Into people, and that's, It's a LARP scenario, dude.
No, it's basically just like getting it. Yeah, it's LARPing. It's watching all those cool fucking videos and stuff, and like all the like cop dramas and stuff. And I'm not saying censor those, but I'm saying that is kind of a thing, like, and I don't know if some of his family members were cops, but the point is with guys like this, like you can't defend this. Like I'm sorry, you don't have a leg to stand on. And I'm a contrarian at times. Like I'll usually find a way to like, well, this you can't. Yeah, I mean, I mean, the argument that's used a lot, and it's true, is if that's a black dude doing that, what happens? He's lit up. Like the cops.
100%, dude.
No, you don't even live to tell the tale. And then they bring up his crime record. You know what I mean? And then it's like, well, what's the playbook, what was our choice? What was our choices? Yeah. So West Coast offense. Like, it's just, what are we gonna do here? And so I don't know. I don't know what right wingers are doing here. Like I know what they're doing, but like what is the end game here? More cops, more prisons, more like you think so like people,
you don't need to
bring
die
up the
on this
crime
hill.
rate.
Like,
exactly. If you're racist, like you're racist, but like what is you can't like use there's data like, oh, my big thing is you got to solve poverty, right? Data. Exactly. You got to solve poverty to stop crime, in my opinion. But they always bring up the crime rate. And we have like a crazy justice system that like puts people away like nothing, and
it's circular, dude. It's circular, and it's all our pipeline. It's this thing where it's what it is it's a byproduct of, you look at the, like in fucking grade school when you're learning like the different kinds of ways you can average numbers, right? Like, you got the median, the mean, the fucking, and like, so we're sold this lie that like America is the greatest nation on earth because of our economy and shit. When really that's so staggered to the, it's the median, right? It's so staggered to the tail end of that. And then, all the fucking of all colors, all creeds are like hella poor throughout America, right? And we believe that affects the black population disproportionately, just based on historical facts and slavery and lack of reparations and all that shit.
Not being able to own property until I honestly I don't know what the
Black Wall Street bombings, Black
yeah,
Move
but
bombings,
like when the property, I think it was like not as long ago as you think when like black people could own property like in the United States legally.
Yeah.
And let's be real, once that happened, it's not like the banks were like, well, gotta let them have a house now.
Yeah.
Gotta give them a loan.
And I love these side-by-side tests too, where they hire like a bunch of independent home value appraisers, and they'll put like photos of like a black dude in the home, and it'll be like, all right, $200,000 less, and then they'll like take the black dude out of the photos, and then like the price will shoot up and stuff like
dude,
that.
it's
so even that,
nuts,
it's
man.
like it's like you can't even get your investment value if you're black, dude. But
so yeah, like they try to do this thing like where there are people that legitimately think this guy's a hero. You know what I mean? Like
oh yeah, dude.
Like Aubrey Huff thinks he's a hero. You know what I mean? Like Aubrey, and
this shit is so sad because it's so obviously psycho on one hand, and on the other hand, it's so lame and corny at the same time. Like I've never had something that's so. This shit is getting so repetitive and dull and boring, and at the same time, so fucking frightening and weird. It's just like it's the weirdest mix of emotions, you know, that I think we're all going
because
through.
It's like we're like almost accepting this as normal now. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's like, you know, that stupid can we normalize like that? Like we kind of are doing this. Like we're normalizing just like riots in the streets and police murders and stuff like that. Like that is just gonna happen. Like I expect almost every day when I wake up to see somebody like murdered at a protest or something. You know what I mean? Like it's fucked up. And like, look, you and I have been kind of critical of the protests, and not again
critical
not
of critical of aspects of the fucking exactly
and like because we're
literally the protest being ineffectualized by LARPers, you know, by people that don't care about Black lives and shit, you know. You can't say that without fucking people like, do you not really want to help? Do you know what I mean? It's just
like these people, right? Like, so the liberals are not doing their part on this. Like the liberals are not,
they're checked out, dude.
The problem is I wish they checked out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish that was the case. Cause you get shit like this.
I'm glad I wanted to show. Yeah. This is what we were talking about, the diner thing.
So you get shit like this, and it's sad. And hold on, I didn't think I put the audio on there. Let me put the audio. Yep, got it. Okay. So like you get shit like this, and take a look at the demographic.
This is in DC, right? Yeah. Turn that down a little bit. Oh my God, dude.
So they're basically making somebody put their fist up at a diner in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. And like the lady's not really being aggressive. Who knows what happened to, like, you know, before this? Maybe she said some crazy, you know, fuck off, you know what I mean, or something like that. But what are we doing,
dude? Someone interviewed that lady. I read up on it. She's like, yo, I've been marching with these crowds for the last 3 weeks. I'm literally on your side. You know, I just wasn't into being pressured when I was like, you need a meal.
I'm trying to have a fucking meal.
Yeah, dude. It's like
trying to sit down and have a meal.
Yeah. Imagine like you haven't been able to eat out all COVID time, and then you're like, all right, I'm finally got a outdoor table at the fucking.
And you know the restaurant. God damn,
dude.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean. Like we were hanging on by a fucking thread, like through COVID.
And of course, and I know everyone brings this up, and this is kind of like you know, this is like a controversial argument, but like, did you see any Black people in that crowd, dude?
No.
Did you?
No, I sure did.
It's like, you know, we all know that there's a huge percentage of Black people that roll their eyes at this shit, dude. They're just like, you know, I'm not saying all of them. I'm not speaking for anyone here.
Look at that. It's like the one avalanche. It's a fucking avalanche in there. And like, this is the type of shit like Michael Tracy jerks off to, dude. You're just like, oh,
straight up, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, okay, is he wrong at this point? When you look at shit like this, is he wrong?
He's got like the tweet generator. He like puts them in for the future and shit. Okay, but here's the thing. Oh, dude, here's the thing. Like, what am I? Okay. Okay, you want this anger? Like, that's fine. I understand the anger of the moment. Direct that, like, fucking chop some congressmen's heads off or some shit. Like, show up, dude. Like, dude, stop doing this LARP shit and like go after actual power.
Stop forcing somebody like
the kente cloth kneelers, you know, the fucking the people that go after some actual power, you know. Stop trying to go after your fucking allies, people that were marching with you and stuff.
Or even then, it's like honestly, like pick and choose your fucking battles. You
that's
know
what I'm. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
They're going on like low hanging fruit type stuff. Like this person's at a diner trying to have a good meal. I got to come over here, you know, and stuff like that. And like they'd be pussies. Like a lot of those people can't even like stand up to a fucking right winger. You know what I mean? They sit there. They tuck their fucking dick between the legs and go, you know what I mean? Like whenever that happens, and I'm like, what's
dude. It's the
what does that accomplish?
Liberals.
I like burning down buildings. I don't even hate burning down buildings. I hate that shit. You know what I mean?
Oh like, no, dude. I would burning buildings is 10 times cooler than what they're doing there for sure. Yeah, because it shows when you burn down a building, you're saying like fuck material values when our lives aren't honored, you know, and stuff like that. When you're doing that, you're just saying like, are you on my team or not? Are you know what I mean? And that's not the way. That person was literally marching for BLM for weeks. I bet they have a fucking different opinion. They have a more trepidatious opinion of it now, basically, right? You know, just based on their experience, dude. It's just so dumb. Fight the right target is my number one motto for activism, dude. Because I just see this whole it's bad, dude. What else was I gonna say? Well, I was gonna say something else on that. I forget. Yeah.
Well, so what I'm seeing here is, again, you see a lot of the theme of this. Honestly, this episode is this weird. I don't even know what the term would be for it, but when someone like us speaks on the protest and just says like, okay, like we'll get to this later, but I want a general strike, right? That's what I want more than anything. I think that's going to get things done.
Yeah.
But you see kind of people saying, what, are you anti-BLM? Are you anti, Black Lives Matter? It's like,
I got some takes on this. Yeah. Go on.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
But a lot of this stuff, I talk to Black people and they're like, let's just get shit done. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's like when the people I talk to, like that's what they say. Let's get shit done, man. Like I don't care about these little hollow gestures and like, hey, this dude, I made a racist raise his fist like this, and then he's gonna be racist, even more racist tomorrow probably. And dude, and like I don't get what that accomplishes. Like we're doing the right wing talking point when they talk about burning down buildings. Like, what does this accomplish? We're doing this about the stupid hollow gestures.
Exactly. Because what do they accomplish? And the two things on that. A couple things. Yeah, I know that people of color feel that way. I hate that term, but that's what people use for this stuff is like people of color,
Yeah.
My cat's fucking so yeah, a lot of people think it's corny. You can tell it's not really about allyship with people of color because when people of color disagree, they all get piled on by the mob. You know what I mean? When like Breonna Joy Gray is a perfect example of that. Like she's fucking Black woman that descended from slaves. Like her ancestors are slaves in this country, right? Literally. And she gets piled on so much for being like a class reductionist, which we'll talk about later, and all this wild out stuff. Number two, I come from before this year. I thought it was corny when white people raised their Black Power fist. Am I the only one that thinks that?
1000% is.
It's hella corny. And the third thing is it's just another example of like white people like policing each other and looking around, reading the room, seeing like it's not about what Black people care about or think or anything. Mm-hmm. It's about there's ways to show solidarity in this movement, right? There's ways to show that you care. And like, I don't know, man. It just feels like we have to be the loudest ones in the room, and be the most fucking annoying and stuff. We started to breach what I talked about, like my Portland shit with, kind of questioning this.
Oh, you saw it coming. You saw it coming. This is all. Dude, this is what we feared.
I was afraid to have the take before because like obviously like we're pro this shit. We're like police precinct burned down, tight, dude. We're so down with that. I was fucking hard over that shit. You know what I mean? But I was scared to have the take that I predicted that I saw this coming this way. That it was just going to evolve into something weird, and then
exactly. Yeah. And it's like you want like solidarity amongst like your white working class people, but like as far as when you're trying to get something done, but like that's them taking the fucking lead, man, right there. Like that's like what happens when you kind of let. And I don't know any of those people's backstories and stuff. They might think they're helping. You know what I mean? They might think it's working.
Yeah, dude.
You know, but it's that's the problem. Is like I don't even know how to phrase this like properly, but like when you really like hammer identity politics and you really, really like hammer that, you get shit like this, man. Like this is what happens. You get these hollow gestures to where if we kill like bad words towards each other, like we're gonna stop police brutality, when really there's a fucking like real economic machine behind it that you have to take down. You know what I mean? And like because like look, I wanted to share this video with people too. This is like, I thought this was like ironic, kind of like an ironic video. I don't think it is. You see this one?
Oh yeah, this dude. Yeah.
So here, this is a song by Mark Rebele or something like 304,000 followers.
No, he's like a fucking. He's pretty popular, dude. Yeah,
So but I thought this was like a bit, but I don't know. Like it's a bit, but I think he like means it. So like here.
Racism sucks. Racism sucks. Racism sucks. Jesus. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this goddamn shit. Tired of these centuries of motherfucking racism.
Don't. I think it comes in. This part's hard.
Put it to an end.
That's hard. I respect that part. Like,
put it to an end.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah. So yeah, that's his. That's him. And you look in the comments. I'm thinking like people are gonna go, "Wow, fucking lame," right? Nope. Rex Chapman. Oh, fucking love it, dude. Again, and this one, I love this clip. It was funny the first time I saw it, but you realize you're laughing because Mark has perfectly personified how good folks feel. Racism sucks. Like it's just like, damn, dude. People are like legitimately eating.
Oh, they use the folk, dude. They use the fucking the non-SJW folk, dude. Where's the X, dude?
Yeah.
Where's the X, dude?
Problematic.
Agreed. Yeah.
No, like this is where we're headed if we keep doing identity-based politics, man. I'm just saying, like this is where we're headed. We're headed for like this alternate reality world where we just see what we want to see on Twitter, but then like the outside world's fucking burning.
I think we need to dive. Maybe it might not be the right time, but I'm a big symptom versus cause guy, you know, and it's like we didn't learn any lessons from the 60s and 70s. You know, like we're learning all the same. We're repeating all the same mistakes.
Absolutely,
you know?
We're headed to another 80s. We're headed to a Reagan 80s. Like we are. And the problem is
that just got chills when you said that.
Both
dude.
parties are Ronald Reagan. That's the fucking problem.
Oh yeah, there's no.
I don't even think
something's got to come through the middle.
I don't even think the liberals were good back then either. But I'm just saying, like I
mean, it was and that's I'm not doubting the people's good intentions, you know what I mean? With like I'm sure real
well. They're not psyops. They're not. I don't think.
No, dude. Yeah,
I mean, they might be helping psyops, but no, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole thing with, and you have like I don't know, man. It's I don't like when people prescribe systemic issues to individual. What's funny about dude, I had this crazy fucking shower thought the other day. How
this is shower thoughts with crypto science.
Where I had this crazy fucking moment where I was realizing like the left used to be about unity no matter what, and like we're all in this together kind of thing, and we say that now on its face, you know, we have like the face value, like solidarity, brother, and you know, and all this type of like rhetoric, but we infight so fucking much, like on social media, on things like, and on the over the stupidest littlest shit, you know, and ironically, like the right wing side, which has historically always been about individuality and like doing your own thing. What happened was, and I realized this, like what happened was it became so uncool and so culturally not respected. When, you know, anyone you go to college, like, and we're not right wing. That's this corny ass fucking belief system. But if you're a right winger and you go to like a mainstream university, you have no home there, right? You can't pop off.
You got your
beliefs.
little college Republican Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like 12 of them. Yeah.
Fucking 19-year-old kids wearing suits and shit like that.
Let's talk about sociology class.
Yeah. So Milton Friedman. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna circle jerk to Milton Friedman.
Yeah. So anyway, like, ironically, like, the right, who's always preached individuality, it became so uncool that they all kind of realized they had to band together, no matter, even if they have different views on guns, on abortion, whatever it is, they're all kind of like, in a weird way, more unified than the left. And that's, I used to think this was corny when people said, like, the reason the left can't get shit done is because of infighting. I believe that more and more every day now, like, now that I'm in it. And it's just like, bro, like, I think, we should scream racism sucks and like let's put it to an end. Sure. Okay, how? Well, racism sucks. Like, okay, let's fucking
censor speech. That's their thing. It's literally censoring speech. That's like that's what they say, like, to get rid of racism. And it's like, damn,
it's like,
dude.
Bro, it's like when it's like, yo, you got zits on your face, right? And it's like, I'm gonna attack each and every zit. Each and every zit I'm gonna fucking annihilate with my fucking face cream or my fucking
proactive,
my fucking kit, yeah. And it's like, yo, maybe you need like a cleanse. Maybe you need to change your diet a little bit. Maybe you need more sunshine.
Smear some avocado on your chest. Shout out Dr. Sebi. Let's go.
Sebi, bro. Yeah, like, don't eat avocado. No,
are you menstruating once a month? I can get rid of that. Come on.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like, anyway, and this brings us to the class thing and okay.
Well, one thing before that, but please go on. Yeah.
Well, and I'm not. Again, we're not gonna. It sucks. It sucks to be an adult and realize that we're not gonna hunt down each and every last racist and correct their wrong thought. That's a thing. That's true. Like, that's not gonna happen. What we can do, we can hack it from the back end, in economically, educationally, and also just raise kids differently,
judicially.
Judicially. And I'm not saying that when racist things happen, when your friend or your colleague or whatever does some legit racist shit, it should be called out. I'm not saying we shouldn't.
That's
call
the problem, is that
out.
It isn't, though. Yeah. Like, it isn't. Like, people, I know people
what do you
go
mean?
on Twitter. No, people will go on Twitter. Sorry to cut you off, but like, people will go on Twitter.
No, that was it.
And we'll go like, I cannot believe what Ryan Gosling said on the set, like, about, he didn't use the makeup artist's pronouns, like, the correct thing. But then, like, they will hear a hard R at their work and just go into a turtle shell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
yeah.
There is a sense of bravery, and that's why I always thought cancel culture was fucking bullshit, because
we all have this online persona.
Online.
Yeah.
You won't even cancel some shit in front of you, even though you easily could. That's what I'm saying. Like, you won't do that.
Which is the most important thing.
Happen. Yeah,
if you call out hard R's,
your workplace, purify your workplace, not Twitter.
Yeah.
Do it to your workplace first. I've always thought that, like, because that's the thing. Like, you see all these people, like, they are aggressive as fuck, and I've seen it just like, especially back in the Facebook days where it's more personal. The people, and you know the people. So, like, I see them. They're fucking puff their chest out on there, about more things.
Yeah, dude.
They'll be like, if I even see a racist, I'll fucking slit his throat. Fucking, like,
it's all performative, dude.
It's performative. And then, like, there will be a guy like in there just being racist, and that person's nowhere to be found. Like, and like, it's so weird, man. So all this shit is like, a lot of this shit is just Twitter bullshit, man. That's what I've come to realize. And look, I understand we're being kind of, hypocrites, because we're just podcasting about it, right? It's not that like,
we don't do shit.
I'm saying, like, but I'm saying, I think I know the right way to go, at least. Like, I know that I think I figured it out, because my longest time I didn't know where the fuck we were going. But one more thing because I do want to get I want that to, like, dominate the last half of the show, where you're getting at. But the NBA, this is one thing. Another thing.
Go, dude. Let's go. Here we go, dude.
Following the script of like, basically how I was talking about, like, Trayvon Martin happened, right? And then all of a sudden you see the infighting. Well, Trayvon was no saint. Oh, man. And then you see the, just the back and forth, right? Even though I obviously agree on the side that guys like Trayvon Martin and people, Mike Brown, all that stuff should not have been murdered, right? Any rational-minded person is going to think that. But there are a lot of irrational-minded people out there. Now, the NBA, right? Sports boycotts. I've seen an absolute ceiling for sports boycotts now. Because I know, one, they're not going to give up the playoffs. The NBA boycotted a couple playoff games. They're just making up the games. They're literally
during COVID too, during the most cucked season of all time.
During the
right?
most if LeBron wasn't in the playoffs, I guarantee you that we should we should stop playing.
Wait, so they're making up the game. Nothing happened. Nothing at all happened.
Nothing happened. The Mets and the Marlins.
Dude.
The Mets and the Marlins went out for 42 seconds of silence. And I don't remember.
They left the T-shirt, the BLM
T-shirt. 42 second symbolism of though, because I know like 8 minutes 46 was George Floyd, but I don't remember. So they went out there for 42 seconds silent, and then like went off the field. I don't know. It was something weird, but like they made up the games, right? The MLB was like, we got to have double headers tomorrow then, and they're like, yeah, that's good. So nothing happened, right? NBA players could have just said, fuck it, we're not playing for the rest of the year till those cops are done. And like that's the problem is that now the bar has been set to where like that has to happen just for like cops to be arrested. Not so much for any material change. Like that is material change to an extent, but I'm talking about structural change to the whole system. It's that doesn't even help. So there's like a ceiling for sports now. Yeah. So now, like before I get into like what I think is actually the solution, what's his fucking name? LeBron James, if you guys have heard of him. So
King James, dude.
King James, man. So he's furious. He was on Twitter, furious. Like, oh man, I can't stand it. He's always been like this, right? But when he's ever put on the spot to actually do something, he doesn't do it. And again, I don't want to attack a person too much because I'm not sure I'd do the same thing. Like honestly, I'm not sure I would. Like, because I can't put myself in his spot. I think I would do, boycott and stuff like that. But I'm also not the greatest basketball player of the last 15 years.
Well, none of us know what it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I can't say.
None of us know what it's like to be LeBron James, not as a basketball player, but just as like
that platform.
Like a celebrity and a father and a dude that is literally like makes fucking millions. Yeah, exactly.
So what he did, right? So what he does, they boycott a couple games, right? They say, hey, we're not playing tonight. Just to draw attention, we want Jacob Blake, justice for Jacob Blake, justice for Breonna Taylor. We want all that. So LeBron, Chris Paul, and a small group of NBA players spoke with former President Barack Obama on Wednesday night. Obama advised, this is the best part, Obama advised them to play and maximize the opportunity to get their desired action items. Continue working and you'll get what you want. That's Brock saying. So if you don't remember what happened to LeBron James, right, there was an outrage, absolute outrage when Laura Ingraham said, shut up and dribble. I don't care about your politics, right?
Yeah.
Should be that outrage, right? I think that was rightfully so. Barack Obama
Brock
just did the liberal version. Barack Obama did the liberal version of that. He was just like, hey, let me be clear, LeBron. I had the Lakers -5 tonight, and I think that I'm going to parlay it with the over, and I think you should shoot more shots tonight. Cover the over, and then say justice for Jacob Blake.
Yeah. And Richard Branson's got the other side of the bet, like 100 million deep. He's 100 million deep, dude. It's
absolutely.
Like,
And then whoever does it has to fuel the fucking Virgin Mobile jet. Whoever loses
for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, dude. And did you hear the concession? Did you hear the things that they actually just? They're like, all
right,
I'm
gonna look that up.
You're not going to strike.
Go on. Yeah.
No, the one that stuck out to me was they're going to turn every NBA stadium into like a voting booth center. So literally the whole thing is like just vote more, right? Just vote. All you gotta do
that's
is vote.
All it comes down to is vote, right? All it is, and there was no material change. It's like
we are living in a simulation. Like Obama is literally like a plot element at this point. I feel like they bust him out during this NBA thing to like what did he do this year? He came out to endorse Joe Biden or whatever, right? The fucking
like barely too. Like it's exactly. So funny how like he like and still like
he's in the background, dude. He's doing his it's crazy.
But look at what the Democrats, right? Because this whole thing, and that's my big problem with this, is that none of this should lead you to Joe Biden. None of this should lead you. If you hate the police, it should not lead you to Joe Biden. If you want to defund the police, should not lead you to Joe Biden. And here's why. Look at the Sacramento Bee here. Police reforms face defeat as California Democrats block George Floyd inspired bills.
Yeah.
So they didn't even this journalist went off, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
So much for the moist eyes and feigned empathy for some California Democrats showcased during the Black Lives Matter marches that followed the police killing of George Floyd. Despite performative emoting by powerful members of California's ruling party. We're talking about the taking a knee for 846 with a kente cloth by Nancy Pelosi. A state of necessary legislature, or a state of necessary police reforms may be headed for full or partial defeat in California state legislature. So basically, there's a lot of stuff here. It's a lot of these police reform bills. A lot of it's budget related. You're seeing here, like it basically Democrats don't give a fuck and they're
I love the Sacramento Bee is the one doing that because they're like a hella right wing racist newspaper. They're the ones that right when COVID was popping off, so they just want to own the Dems, you know. But
okay, then don't throw a fucking slow pitch softball pitch to them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the way I look at it.
I love when COVID was first popping off, remember? And then they're like, they had that front page article like, hey, here's a map of where all the Asians live in Sacramento. Dude, and everyone's like, yo, this is fucked up. This is like some like fascist shit, right?
Yeah.
And they tweeted, they're like, sorry about that. And but everyone's like, you left the tweet up. Like the article is still up, dude. It's
yeah, I mean, just in case you were still for reference.
Yeah. And the California they just banned menthol cigarettes on the same day they didn't do any police reform. It's like, dude, I know. Yeah,
shout out Eric Garner. Yeah, and no, dude, that's like, yeah. No, that's insane.
So it's bad, dude. It's like, and it's vote, just vote them it, dude. It's over. People know
Joe Biden. A lot of people do, right? So that's what's crazy about Joe Biden is like a lot of people. I think this is the last of neoliberalism. I do think
it's a gift. It's a gift as loud as like the vote blue no matter who types on Twitter are. Like most people see this, I feel, and like the shoot him in the leg, Joe Biden, like crime bill dude. It's on its last legs. It's people. It's a gift. It's a gift to the progressive movement. Everyone's like, it's funny. Everyone's like, we got to get Trump out. Otherwise progressive is going to sit back another 4 years or whatever, 8 years. And the truth is like, they're right. And like, but Joe Biden doesn't, all Joe Biden does is he exposes the facade, but not for the reason that you're claiming that, you know what I mean?
Do you think that Biden, I'm still arguing who's the accelerationist candidate. I was talking to somebody who listens to the show earlier, shout out Chief Z. And he was kind of saying like, who's the accelerationist candidate? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know. And because for like, we've talked about it a little bit. Trump is, as much as I think it's Trump and I've thought it was Trump for a while, I just think he has blurred party lines so much to the point where
speak on it.
Where like so you don't know what like a Democrat or Republican is. You can be like a pro-life, pro-war person, but you're like, ew, Trump. And they're like, yes. You know what I mean? So it's like, then Democrats just become like even more right wing. And I'm not talking about the actual representatives of the Democratic Party. They are right wing. What I'm saying is like the actual people who are have that TDS reports. You know what I mean? Fucking Trump derangement syndrome. And make sure you have the proper cover sheet on those. And they don't know exactly. They don't know what they stand for anymore. They're just anti.
They don't have.
It's made politics completely retarded, man. Like completely, like to the point where it's I don't like Trump.
Yeah,
I don't like Trump, and that's it. I don't care if the person is, pro-Israel ethno-state. I don't care if this person is going to increase the police budget for reform. You know what I mean? I don't care, which is the biggest scam there is. And like, there's going to be all this kind of shit. And so I used to think it was Trump, and I don't even know if it's Biden. Right? That's the problem. Biden, if he gets in. We didn't have this kind of round-the-clock social media coverage that we did when Obama was president, right? So that's why we find out a lot of this stuff retroactively about Obama. You know what I mean?
Well, yep. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and with the Trump does two things with where the media is constantly on him.
Yeah,
and he sucks. He sucks, dude. He fucking sucks. He's the worst, I'm not saying he's not. But also the media being constantly on him exposes, with social media now and everything, exposes more in real time how incompetent the media is at actually resisting anything, and that they're actually the worst allies you could have at trying to fight a fascist or whatever they claim, it is. But what I love about this moment is and I agree with what you said, but I love that. Like the end, what the RNC is doing is like genius. Like I swear to God,
they leaned into it. They leaned into it.
Well, what they're doing is they're like, Joe Biden's like, he wants to give us all Medicare for all and free college. And Joe Biden's like, no, like, I actually don't. And so he's forcing him to say no. You know, he's calling his bluff, basically. You know, they're calling him some crazy, like, progressive dude. And his team is having to be like, actually, no, we're not that. Like, to appeal to the Republicans, you know? So, yeah, everything is completely on its head.
I actually wanted to play a little bit of Kimberly Guilfoyle's speech from the RNC, because it's like straight up fascism, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy because like they're leaning into it, but they know they have this base on lock. You know what I'm saying? Like they have this base locked down because this base is not voting for Biden. Like I don't believe in never Trump Republicans. I believe in them legislatively. I believe in them like within.
No, it's like 4 media figures. It's like 4 pundits that are like
at the end of the day,
like
Trump
Wall Street Journal articles.
Trump people at the end of the day, they go, okay, both of these, or say the working class, right? I've talked to people like this. They're just be like, look, I hate both these fucking candidates. One guy's going to tax me less though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's a lot for a lot of people. A lot of what we're talking about doesn't even fucking matter. So like 100%. This is Kimberly. I think it's Guilfoyle, or I don't know what the fuck her name is, but she was with Gavin Newsom for a while, and then Don Jr. This is her. This is Don Jr.'s chick, man. And yeah, Gavin Newsom used to smash this, and it's like, how trash is that dude's dick if that's what she's doing now? Like, you know what I mean? Like she went like hard MAGA after Gavin Newsom. Like it's just like, damn, dude. She's like, I'm tired of.
It's like the Seinfeld episode where
I'm tired of pegging you, Gavin. Yeah.
It's like the Seinfeld episode where George is like, "Did you go lesbian because of me?" You know, or I think remember that episode where like,
yeah, exactly.
Where, dude. It's like yeah.
So here's her speech. I'll play a little bit of it, but yeah.
You are capable, you are qualified, you are powerful, and you have the ability to choose your life and determine your destiny. Don't let the Democrats take you for granted. Don't let them step on you. Don't let them destroy your families, your lives, and your future. Don't let them kill future generations because they told you and brainwashed you and fed you lies that you weren't good enough. Like my parents, you can achieve your American dream.
Yeah, so they're doing the full on right wing fascism. Like they're doing it,
dude. That shit, I never saw that. I saw the screen cap or whatever, but I never listened to that. That shit is fucking scary.
She's nuts.
And it's crazy because there's no audience, right? So there's literally just screaming to an empty room, right?
She can't even do crowd work. She can't even do crowd work. Yeah. And
I love how the music was chosen to be hella scary, but all I can think of is like Spice One coming in on the remix, dude.
They say you got 5 on the thing.
Yeah. Hit the J so hard I hurl, dude. Yeah.
Oh fuck. That's such a great closing verse to that song. Holy shit.
Oh my god, dude.
Drew down to start is legendary too. I mean, there's not a bad part in the song, but like bring my stallion back to the stable. And because the Loonies have like 14 versions of that song, and each one's like whacker than the last, you know. And but
it's
dude,
like,
you know what? I love that business model. They're just like, you know what?
Dude.
This is what we got. We're riding this wave. Like this is gonna be around forever.
What's cool? They were like the first big Bay artists that were like touring with Biggie and shit because of that hit song. You know, like they were like, dude.
Operation Stackola, incredible album.
Oh yeah, dude,
it's so good. Like
Yuck Mouth, dude. Yeah, one of my favorite Mac Dre fucking allies. Yeah,
and he was an ally. He was a BL. He raised his fist with Mac Dre, BLM ally.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And
I wish he was alive for all this shit, dude. I would just his social media.
Oh, dude, one of the goats, man. Like, just my God, social media, like him, Malcolm X, Tupac. And like just people like that, like having social media would have been the best. But no, that album, you know what an underrated song on the Operation Stackola album is there. It was like I think it was the B-side to that single. Like I Got 5 on it was the Player Hater song with the Bobby Caldwell sample. You know?
Yeah.
That's why you wanna play a hate on me. I gotta run that album back again. It's such a good album.
Yeah.
And so what do we do about all this stuff? Like, so I try to have solutions to this shit. You know what I mean? Like I try to say, because like I've even asked this about certain people who are class reductionists. Like I'll just be like, man, I don't know. Like, okay, you've identified what we don't like, and that's a lot of things. But are we pigeonholing ourselves into such a small like area to where we're not going to have any numbers for anything? But I think the one fucking thing we can do about this is a general strike. You take away labor and capital from the elite, they don't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah,
they don't. They cannot make you work if you have enough numbers to get everybody together to stop working. Now, what gets in the way of a general strike? Identity politics.
Yeah,
absolutely 100%. You're going to get like the right-wing people are just going to be like, no, like there's bootliggers, man. You're never going to get 100%. You will not get 100%. But I think if it's like 40%, it fucking kills shit.
Yeah.
Like no joke. Like
100%,
I think it kills shit. If you stop certain airlines, fucking all this kind of shit, dude. Basically did your own COVID lockdown where you're in power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where the workers are in power, where you're saying like, look, sorry, fucking, you know, Pinterest isn't working right now because all our coders left. Fucking, you know, like all that. Because you want to talk about some Karens? Fuck, if Pinterest ain't up, holy shit,
it's over, dude.
It's a wrap. Yeah, it's a wrap. They're gonna be making everybody like they're gonna do what they did in the diner. They're gonna go to the Pinterest headquarters and they're like, get the code going, get it going. I had to pin this peanut butter cookie recipe you make in a mason jar, and Anyways,
what kicked this off is the day tweet. The tweet, I smell a general strike coming, but like, hey, let's center black voices. Like on the face, very very like.
I'm gonna put it up while you're talking.
Yeah, you know, and that created a fucking firestorm on Twitter where.
So Day is he's a writer. He's a host Grassroots Law. He was
Seattle
on the
activist.
Bernie on the campaign. Again, I will play this right now. I don't think this guy's a bad person. I don't think
dude. I dug in because everyone was hating on this dude. I dug into his like his resume. We were even DMing a bit because we were getting a little spicy on Twitter and shit. Like he was, you know, we were kind of going at each other.
In that debate, I checked it out.
And I honestly felt bad after, honestly, because I looked into his resume slaps, dude. Like the dude is hardworking ass dude. Like it's crazy, man. He's like so I'm no hate, man. And in fact, I'm trying to get him to come on, you know.
I would love to. I would love to talk about this, honestly.
And we had a couple, but he's cool, and he in good faith, like he was like hitting me back, and we were so it's like
okay, that's good. I would like to apologize for saying fraud.
Yeah, dude.
I called him a fraud. I don't believe he's a fraud, and I think that's what started the whole debate. I said fraud.
This dude does more work than 99.9% of people on leftists on Twitter, including us, dude. Like for sure, dude. And
1,000% me, exactly.
And so I got love. So it's not that, but let's talk about dig into
so here's
the
what he said,
though.
right? So here's what he said, and I was pissed. Like no joke, this one got me. This one triggered me because I'm so scared of this, like this being the mentality. Like, and I don't even think this is his mentality. I don't even. Again, it's a tweet. I think he just shot a tweet out there, and like he has a big platform, and that tends to get people like myself riled up. So I think we say, I smell a general strike brewing. And before it happens, can I just plead with all my white and non-black comrades to make sure to not co-opt the movement right now? This moment is about Black lives. We all want to tax the rich and universal health care, but make sure you center the right people. So I read it again.
It's like a Rorschach test. You know, it's like an inkblot test.
I still don't like the tweet, man. Like that's the thing. Like I still disagree hardcore with the tweet. And I'm not saying like, yes, the movement against police brutality is about Black lives. 1,000%. Like that's not to be said. A general strike is not about anybody. It's about workers.
No.
It's about workers. You cannot
we're
say
gonna dig into this, dude.
Yeah. There's not one fucking identity that you can put in a general strike because you can co-opt an identity. You really can't co-opt labor if all labor is unified. Okay. And
pull up. I know I showed you this, but I just want to immediately like sum up. Go to the Wikipedia page for the Poor People's March.
Okay, I will. So I think
pull that up.
You had didn't you have didn't you tweet something on it? Because I think that had you had just like a screen cap of it. And so let me. I'll find
good luck finding that shit. Yeah,
I think I could have sworn I bookmarked it. I could have sworn I did, but okay, no, maybe I didn't. So you said Poor People's March, and that's Martin Luther King, right? That was
just Poor People's March wiki should bring it up.
But no, go on. While I'm doing that, go on, please.
Okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, like what you said. Yeah, general strike by definition is not an identity-based thing. it's kind of sucks is in order for us to move forward, there's no way to say this without it getting chopped and screwed by like
I just
haters,
say it. I want to have this guy on. That's why I want to have this guy on. And like
in order for this movement to move forward and for us not spin our wheels in eternity and keep making the same mistakes that we've been doing for the 60s and 70s and everything, I hate to say it, we have to make it not about any one specific life, you know.
Yes.
And then that's not an all lives matter take. I'm not
erasing anything.
That's not I'm not one of those
dudes. Let me get into that. Let me get into that. All lives matter is like a reduction tactic. It's kind of like something like a kind of deflation tactic where it's like,
it's a deflation. Hey, it's like a cop's
it's a hey, shut up. Hey, everybody matters. Shut up. That's what we're saying. We're trying to literally get better things for people. Like,
the thing is, like, no one associated with this podcast believes that the police, there isn't systemic racism in police departments. That's the most obvious fucking fact in the whole world, you know. And Blue Lives Matter is fucking dumb,
garbage.
It's a dumb statement,
complete garbage, and there's no defending that. Yeah.
But so I think it's reactionary when the socialist left is like, right there, third paragraph. Poor People's Campaign was motivated by a desire for economic justice, the idea that all people should have what they need to live. King and the SCLC
shifted.
Southern Christian Leadership Conference shifted their focus to these issues after observing the gains in civil rights had not improved the material conditions of life for many African Americans. The Poor People's Campaign was a multiracial effort, including African Americans, white Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanic, Native Americans, aimed at alleviating poverty regardless of race. Okay, so MLK busted this out. 3 weeks later, murdered by the CIA and FBI.
He was organizing a sanitary.
That's what happened.
Sanitary strike, like a sanitary worker strike. And it's like, look, I'm not. I think Martin Luther King had a target on his head, regardless, right? Even if he was going to do that or not, I think he was going to get taken out because he was doing some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? In their eyes. So I'm not saying, did Martin Luther King only get killed because he did that? No, not at all. But it was cleverly timed to where that imperial change was.
I would put money on it. I would.
I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I'm saying he didn't just go on their radar because of that.
I'm not saying that there weren't white supremacists that wanted to murder him. Like
straight up,
he had a list, dude. Yeah. Okay. Now talk about, because you know more about it, the Fred Hampton thing. His Rainbow Coalition.
Fred Hampton, right? And I will while I'm talking about it. So Fred Hampton, he's my favorite, and he might have been viewed as a class reductionist. Like it's crazy. Like
they all are, dude. That's what I'm saying. All the best activists.
Well, what is class reductionism, right? Like class reductionism is actually considered, like, it's actually considered a an insult. You know what I mean? It's like not even a belief system, really. I mean, it kind of is becoming one, but
it's becoming on the left. The people on the left that we clown on and disagree with, like that tweet, the people that defend that tweet, they think that class reductionism means race doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter. Like, you know, or we can solve racism strictly through. That's not what it means. It is a shitty term. I think it's a misnomer. You know, you're not reducing everything to class. You're reducing things primarily to class, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's what it means. Cops, you know, like, okay, cops will, and I like Brianna Joy Gray has this nuance that I like, where like rich black dudes will get fucked with by the cops, like just because of the color of their skin.
Absolutely.
I didn't know. Yeah, they will. You know, Miles Davis is famously happened to him.
Guys in the NBA.
Guys in the NBA. Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's happening.
Yep. Yeah. 100%. Cops racially profile people. Okay. But what the police state functions as is a tool by the elites to keep the poors in line. Like, regardless of race, right? Yeah, that's why we're arresting bums and shit, and you know, that's why we arrest that old man for feeding bums, that 90-year-old man for like giving bums sandwiches and shit. Sure. We'll arrest him.
Permits to sell water on the street, or, you know, what I mean? Shit like that, or give out water on the street.
But Kamala Harris won't arrest Steve Mnuchin, right? White collar crimes that affect dramatically affect humanity for the worse, way more than any of this shit. So there is a nuanced take. Very, very few. Okay, there's a small percentage of like dumb autistic leftist class reductionists that literally they do use it as a shield. They might be like a white dude and they use it as a shield for their racism and shit.
Absolutely.
Right? And but the vast majority, I feel, are just saying like Aisha on Twitter, right, where she's like, we had Indian American or Pakistani Indian American women, right?
Harvard. I think she's like a lecturer at Harvard. Like she's something like that. That's somebody I want to have on here so fucking bad.
And that's my thing. Yeah, dude. And that's the thing. It's not predominantly white people that are class reductionists. It's just a level of thing that you reach once you realize that the number. So yeah, MLK towards the end of his career,
I got the Fred Hampton right here.
Yeah, was they all lean class reductionist.
Yeah. So here we go. Fred Hampton. So it's an unlikely alliance, right? So post-civil rights era, militant Black Power movement emerged with the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense forming in 1966, inspired by Malcolm X and other international Black thought leaders. The group embraced armed struggle as a potential tool against organized racial oppression. A radical break from the philosophy of nonviolent protests, a large faction of the group developed in Chicago, where one of the party leaders was a young man named Fred Hampton. Chicago in the 1960s was a brutal place for poor people, Black, brown, and white people, all dealt with poverty and unemployment. So you find the common ground here. You find the common ground because that gets you the most numbers, right? The minute you bring identities into things, honestly, I'm not going to lie, there's going to be some people that are like, okay, is that what we're fighting for? You know what I mean? Look, whether that's right or wrong is up to you, but I'm just saying this is how you get numbers. Right. So then they all dealt with poverty, unemployment, police violence, substandard housing, inadequate schools, and a lack of social services. Ethnic and racial groups each created their own social service and activist networks to combat every kind of oppression. One group was the Young Patriot Organization.
Beta.
Which not a great name. It's not a great name. Which was based in Hillbilly Harlem, an uptown neighborhood of Chicago. It sounds like a fucking part of Disneyland, but an uptown neighborhood.
It's just Splash Mountain 2.0. Dude.
It is. And,
hella racist ride, by the way, dude. Hella racist ride.
Oh, sure is.
Yeah.
Cancel that. And an uptown neighborhood of Chicago populated by the displaced white Southerners. Again, we have poverty is just a kind of a unifying thing right here. Many YPO, which I guess is Young Patriot. Yeah, YPO, Young Patriot Organization members were racist, and they flaunted controversial symbols associated with Southern pride, such as the Confederate flag. Like blacks,
sounds familiar.
But like blacks and Latinos, the white Young Patriots and their families experienced discrimination in Chicago. In their case, it was because they were poor and from the South. So, I mean, basically what he's saying, in a short time as a Black Panther leader, Fred Hampton wanted to advance the group's goals by forming a rainbow coalition of working class and poor people of all races. So Fred Hampton basically reduced everything to class so he could have the numbers to get something done. You know what I mean? Like that's
rainbow coalition.
Shout out Jesse Jackson. And he said former members of the Chicago Panthers and YPO tell different versions of the same story of how each group's connected. Yeah, I bet. And they just ran into the bar. We had a sign up. No, but each attended the others' organizing meetings and decided to work together on common issues. Over time, the Black Panthers learned to tolerate Confederate flags. I don't even think you have to do that. Honestly, I think that was out of fear, honestly. And basically, eventually the Young Patriots rejected their deeply embedded ideas of white supremacy and even the Confederate flags, right? Because they identified the problem isn't black people. You know what I mean? That like you can get this, like you can get this out of here. So basically, like what happened after all that stuff is that they ended up funding together to buy a bunch of housing. Fred Hampton, Young Patriots. I believe there was I want to say it was the Latin Kings too. I don't think it's in this article, but the Latin Kings, they all banded together to, like, even if they didn't like each other, you don't have to like each other. That's the thing. Like,
so Puerto Ricans, Young Lords.
Young Lords. There you go. Yeah, got it. So they basically were able to they pooled resources together and provided community services to aid the government and to aid people where the government and the private sector would not. Initiatives included health clinics, feeding the homeless and hungry people, and legal advice for those dealing with unethical landlords and police brutality. So they were doing all that kind of stuff, right?
And how long did Fred Hampton last after he got
not long. He was murdered. He was murdered in 1969, right after he signed the deed to a housing treatment that was funded by those three organizations: Young Patriots, Young Lords, and the Black Panther Party. He was going to get a bunch of housing, basically subsidize it himself. You know what I mean? Get a bunch of people, homeless people, off the streets in houses, rehabilitate the community. Murdered in his house in cold blood. So you find out why people get murdered. Like,
when do they pull the trigger? When they pull the trigger? When they actually, when shit hits, when they actually decide to, all right, take this dude out. You know, yeah, exactly, dude. It's wild. And
this has happened before. Like this isn't a new thing.
Yeah. Is Fred Hampton's voice not centered in any of that? Does he? You know what I mean? Do we need to? Yeah, exactly. Do we need to? So. Again, today they would never anyone who, and I'm not like Confederate flag is dumb and
no,
shit, but like
that could never. I seen it.
Yeah, that could never happen today though. That could never happen in today's culture, right? Where like
I just think we've realized that as
that coalition
people,
building.
Yeah, as poor people, we've realized the enemy is other poor people. That's what has happened. That is an elite strategy. Shout out! I'm stealing some stuff from Class Reductionist Killer. Here it's basically like the elites, the police, and politicians work for the elites, right? So the best thing to do is create identity politic divides in amongst people, right? Race, religion, anything like that, between even the culture you consume, the content you consume, all that divide against poor people, so that there is no chance of uniting you against the elite. And that used to be the dumb guy take at work, like, hey, if we all just kind of got together, we could take this shit down. And everyone was like, oh, come on, it's deeper than that. Yeah, kind of isn't, honestly. Like
what have we had for 4 decades, 5 decades, 6 decades after King and this whole movements? We've had endless neoliberal, woke, PC bullshit. I'm not saying that stuff's not important in some regard. I'm not saying we shouldn't be careful about what we say, how we make other people feel, intersectionality. I'm not even saying that that's not even a real thing. I think that is a real thing. Like that, that different identities build up and play out in different ways. Like none of this is denouncing any of that. What I'm saying is the minimum wage has been $7.25 for fucking a decade, right?
Yeah,
and it's like it's literally it's like when are we gonna?
People are looking for the lowest hanging fruit to get mad at. Like the lowest...
and again symptom cause. What do you think? Okay, let's say you are like one of those people that believe that Trump is in office just because of a bunch of random racist fucks, that voted in swing states forever. I don't disagree per se, but what's the number one way to get them to change their mind on a millions basis, not just like an individual, like I changed this one dude's mind or whatever. It's to get people to work together towards a common goal.
To not work. General strike.
Yeah. Boom. The best. Yeah. Yeah. Boom. The best friendships you have, and the best friendships that forge across cultural lines, racial lines, age lines, anything like that, are the ones where you share a common experience and share a common, like this Chicago vibe that we got going on. And it's just so disheartening that I think we can do both. Like we can.
Yeah,
I got a funny story. I won't say it now, but dude, it's just crazy. We can do all this. We can call out racism on an individual level in a tactful way, in a way like, hey, I didn't appreciate that. Like, I still think you're a valuable person and that we can work together towards a common goal, but like, hey, but just be careful with what you say around these people. Like you don't know how your words affect other people, shit like that, rather than just canceled, roasted kind of thing, and
push them further right, push them further right, make them more of an enemy than they already are.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Look at that's what Fred Hampton did. Fred Hampton literally said, "You have swastikas, fucking Confederate flags, all this kind of shit," and he's like, "Get this fucking money together. I'm gonna make sure people get off the streets." How about that?
That dude,
organized crime does that all the time. Organized crime does that no problem. Like
organized crime is like legit in a weird way. They're like, yeah, dude, yeah, and it's funny because and so this, and they're way more community based too. You know,
sure.
Fucking,
well, because there's fucking money. The end goal is let's get fucking money and let's get like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah. So yeah, if Fred Hampton could see past fucking Confederate flags to give people housing and come together, you fucking leftist can see past like a.
And Fred Hampton's black. We're arguing with half the people we're arguing with as white people.
I know, dude.
That's the funny thing, dude. Everybody in that thread, except for Day, right? And Day came with the most rational responses out of everybody. He was kind of just like, "Whoa, man! Like, what's all this all about?" You know what I mean? Like, why is this happening? And then like there were these white dudes that look like fucking Jim Gaffigan that would be in there, and they'd just be like, you can't silence black voices." It's like, well, you're speaking for him right now.
Exactly, dude. One of the people I got into with was a guy who did, his Avi wasn't white or whatever, but he admitted that he was white or something. Yeah. I didn't ask, but he said, you know, his fucking little header, his username, he's like, he kept saying he was white. His username or whatever was end whiteness. And he's literally making the claim that we need to end whiteness before we can end capitalism. I'm like, good luck, dude. Exactly. I was like, good. It's the opposite. And like, I agree that this white supremacy is a real thing in this country. And
whiteness is not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's considered bad. Like it's not a. We're not doing it to deflect from whiteness. That's what this whole thing is. We just realized that it could be co-opted so fucking hard if you put one identity at the forefront, because all they have to do is go, hey, we changed the name of this fucking school. There you go.
Exactly. You could be arguing in good faith for the things that you believe in. And then the other thing is, like, a lot of these people are they're just young and like literally indoctrinated into college and stuff. You know, it's this whole vibe. And but so the whole thing is like, what am I saying? Like, you can be arguing in good faith for these topics and truly believe them and believe that we need to, like, in your heart of hearts, that we need to put black faces at the forefront of this movement and that we need to do all that. I agree. It'd suck if it was just all white people doing. I think you couldn't stop Black and Latina and Native American faces from emerging naturally.
No,
in a movement like that, you couldn't stop it.
They want these material changes.
Exactly. Yeah. But even if you're arguing that in good faith and you truly believe that we need to dismantle all these nebulous ideas that have no real, you can never tell when they're actually accomplished or not, right? They will be used in bad faith by corporations, politicians, and the elite. And so why, it's like what Kyle Clancy says, why are they always willing to concede tweeting out Black Lives Matter or tweeting or, you know, painting a street or putting up road signs or some shit?
Kneeling,
but they're never
cloth.
Yeah, but they'll never concede on
healthcare,
like a bill or increasing the minimum wage or healthcare.
They're blocking the bill of the thing you're protesting. It's a direct one-to-one comparison, and people still can't see
bro.
It. Like,
and it's like you're being played. You're being played. You played yourself. It's the whole you played yourself thing, and it's and so it's just crazy because it's like I don't know. And if we're wrong, I want someone to come on and debate us on this. Like,
I am glad you reached out to him, because I would love to talk to him about it, because I guarantee you the conversation goes smoother like this than it would on Twitter, because I think we could both. I think we'll both
100%.
Because it's always.
And the other thing about him, he was telling me like, and he said it in the general case. Like his tweet was just aimed at whatever, but he was telling me, he's like, this is my experience being an activist in Seattle, where like a bunch of white people try and take over the movement and try and co-opt it and everything. And I'm like, A, I agree. And B, like that's my point, is that this identity politics shit is being taken over by white people.
The easiest thing to get.
And it's exactly. And it's like that's what I'm saying, is like BLM is taken over by fucking corny ass, like white fist raiser type DC diner dudes. Right. And it's like, so it's like, you should, this is the solution. This is your solution. If you want to center black voices, don't make it about that all the time. Make it about all of us, right? And that's not an all lives matter thing. That's not, and we can keep on, we can keep on doing this police shit. Listen to our George Floyd episodes, like, you know, our takes on that. We like, fuck the police. Like, it's just, you know, it's so anyway, it's just I think it was good. It really actually, like, I learned a lot from it, to be honest. And
yeah, it's good.
It really clarified
I feel bad.
position.
I got to really formally, like, I will say, I just want to say, like, I'm sorry for calling that guy a fraud, because I don't think he's a fraud person. I just thought that was a fraudulent take. I still don't like the take personally, but like, it's like that was I realized I'm like, why did I say that?
He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude, and he works hard. Like he has gotten shit. They stopped doing like homeless encampment sweeps because of his activism and shit. That's fucking raw,
I think that's
dude.
what people were trying to tell me, but I'm like, I'm not saying. I just thought that was a fraudulent statement, because that's literally like that statement almost like I'll put it to you this way. I was a part of a big tech company. Temps we're trying to organize. We're trying to organize to become permanent employees, to get benefits and all that kind of stuff. Our contracts were 2-year contracts. They were going to be done. They were going to be done. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you saved the fucking building from burning. You were done after 2 years. And we said, look, if this company wants to compete with this other big company for a same-day shipping service, they need us, right? We know the system in and out. We need this. So we banded together, right? So there were a couple fucking bootlicker people, and I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm gonna say it like this. Now we were diverse, right? The people that were on the union side, right? We were gonna get Teamsters Union involved. And
it was everyone, Latino,
it was everybody, black people, gay, like non-binary, all kind of stuff. Like, it was all that. But the people that were against us were also diverse, right? They were promised certain things by the company. They were promised certain things, and I'll swear to God here, they were saying off-color jokes that people said off the clock, because again, we're gonna have to get past the point that people in the workplace, and especially among workers in the working class, tell off-color jokes. That's what happens. So they were saying all kinds of stuff like, hey, they were turning that into like racism, right? To where we can't have like air conditioning in our fucking building. You know what I mean? Like, where we can't have this kind of stuff. So when I see something say, hey, let's make sure we center these voices, I just pictured that giant tech company saying, center this voice right here, who's on the company side. You know what I mean? Center that voice. You know what I mean? That's what I kept seeing. Like,
because they're a certain identity, right? Because they're a certain
So what I'm saying is, like, when you do that, I'm just fearful. I don't think that's like a bad tweet just in a vacuum. I think that's bad because that's literally the playbook of like big corporate companies, right? Big here and there. Like, again, I personally believe that too. Like, because again, like you said, those black voices are going to emerge naturally. Like, those, like, there are great leaders in the black working class. There obviously are. Nina Turner in the Bernie campaign. There's so many. You know what I mean? Like, and through history, Fred Hampton, all kinds of people like that. And there's so many, like, things that are going to occur naturally. No one's going to fucking duct tape over their mouth when they're trying to talk.
Yeah, dude.
It's not going to happen.
They are the most powerful voices, and it's
guaranteed.
And ironically, I hate this shit, dude. The white leftists that call out Breonna Joy Gray or black Latina, South Asian,
Soledad O'Brien,
Soledad, class reductionists, and they're saying, God, I can't stand these class, and they're like white, and they're calling out minorities for being class reductionists. It's like, what are you? So literally, you only agree with people of color. You're literally silencing their voice because they don't agree with you, even though you're literally not centering their voice. You know what I mean? It's literally it's a fucking team. It's a team, dude. It's a team sport.
That's all it is. Once they find the identity, it's very focus group thing. They say, look, okay, this is the identity we can use against this group, right? It's what happened to Bernie. That's the thing. When people said, look, why are you guys coming at Day like that? He was a campaigner for Bernie. I'm like, well, then he should know. I'm sorry. Like, he should know. Like, he should know.
Dude.
Like, and like, that's the problem. Like, you do have, like, you can use.
Bernie's got the same take. He's got the take that says that we just had, that he said, like, that racism exists, but we should the number one way to
Medicare for all was racist because it didn't center like black people. It was like kind of class reduction.
God, dude.
That was the thing.
What the fuck, dude? That's a psyop, dude. That's a psyop, dude. That's a fucking psyop.
So he's not doing a psyop. It's aiding that. And I'm not. And again, I'm not saying it as
falling
I'm
into
talking about this. I didn't follow him. I had never seen another tweet from him before that. I didn't follow him. That was the first introduction I got to him. Definitely overreacted on my part, but like, I don't know if I'm necessarily wrong about the rhetoric. I'm just saying, like, and again, I'd love to talk to him about it because, like, that's it's good. But like,
I feel we're gonna be friends someday. Like,
honestly, that's how it is on Twitter, man. Like, most of the people, I've gotten in crazy debates with people on Twitter, and then like I've talked to them in real life. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like not that.
Isn't that a thing? Huh?
Crazy. So I'm just saying, like, it's crazy.
But I wanted to talk about your experience with, the non-unionizer people. How this is something that PMC, professional managerial class types, right? You
I always
know
thought
what
it was
that
privileged
means, right?
middle class. I actually thought it was that.
No, I mean, for me, it's professional managerial class.
Probably
It's,
both.
the people that, and again, I'm not trying to hate the people that arguably make the most money for doing the least important work, right? Like literally, like, hey, can we get a Zoom meeting going? Let's get a Zoom, guys. Let's do it. Fucking.
Yeah.
And there's a huge, just as an aside, there's a huge phenomenon of PMC, professional managerial class type people being really depressed during the COVID lockdown time right now, because they realize literally how they don't do anything and they don't really offer that much value to their. And there's a good book called Bullshit Jobs, written by an anarchist, one of Noam Chomsky's colleagues, I believe. I don't know, maybe
that's on my list.
It's just basically how like modern day capitalism and technology has created all these jobs where people get paid the most for doing the least amount of work, offering the least. And it is like an elite college. And I noticed when I was in college, like an elite college to PMC, high upper middle class pipeline, where you're making basically six figures within a couple years out of college. You never really, even if you come from a crazy background or whatever, regardless of race, regardless of gender, LGBTQ, any of that, you never experience the class struggle through adulthood like a lot of people do, like how am I going to feed my kids? How am I going to have health care? All this stuff.
Yeah.
And those are the people that fall into the identity politics traps the hardest, even if they're black, even if they're non-white, right? And it sucks to say, like, look at, do you think fucking, like, look at like mainstream media, like Jason Johnson or CNBC, like non-white pundits, Bacardi sellers. Do you think they know what it? I'm not saying a lot of them come from hard backgrounds and they are profiled. I'm not
even
saying
professional athletes sometimes.
Yeah, totally. But do you think? I don't know, man. Money. It changes. Class changes things. It changes people, and something weird about being a human. This is my healthcare take. Is the upper middle class people they don't want private. They don't want public. They don't want socialized healthcare, Medicare for all. Not because it would tax them more. It would tax them negligibly more, like very like a small amount more. They pretty much like the math done on Medicare for all is like the vast majority of people would save money, even people making a lot of money, right? Like it's they're against it. Well, A, because they're brainwashed, but B, because they want to. A lot of them want to feel superior because they have a better job, because they're like a manager or
validate
like
their degree, what I mean? Too. It validates your degree.
Yep.
Exactly, dude. You had to pay for. And so that way, if college is free, then you're kind of like, well, why did I pay? You know what I mean?
Exactly, dude.
And it's like, it's that.
As if education should be a fucking commodity and not just like a human right and like an ongoing process. But well, yeah, dude. So that's the thing. This is another class thing. Is like a lot of, and you realize like a lot of people, the people yelling loudest against class-based political action are often the people that have, I hate to say it, have the most privilege, make the most money, have the least to lose, right? If shit goes bad. And yeah, dude, it's crazy. So that's a big part of it too.
Sure. Yeah.
And
that's that. And like, well, and even to tie this back into the general strike, right? Because that's what this whole thing was about. Because I'm serious about it. Like, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it. Let's make this happen. Because like I said, when you take the labor away from the capital, like it falls out. It's like taking the fucking, one card out of the deck. You know what I mean? One deck or one card out of the house of cards. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
You take one out, fucking falls all over, and they don't have a leg to stand on, and then you can make demands. So what a lot of people say when they think a general strike is kind of class-based, they kind of think that we don't give a shit about police anymore. We don't care about any of that stuff. That's not true. What you do, and because a lot of these people, like you're saying, they've never had to organize in their workplaess. They've never had to do any kind of things like that. What you do is you stop working and then you create a list of demands. Do you honestly think that, wherever you are on police funding, reform, defunding, do you think there won't be anything on that fucking list of demands that are going to be about police? You know what I mean? Of course there's going to be. Like, of course there's going to be,
And it totally it totally cucks the police. Ironically, that'd be the number one thing to completely dismantle the. Like they can't fucking stamp us all out. They can't fucking get us to go back to work, right?
Exactly.
And that's the thing. And like, dude, what happened to just good old fashioned? And I get the moment, dude. I get the anger. I get the frustration. I'm angry and frustrated too. In these moments, like we're trying to reinvent the wheel here with activism. What happened to good old fashioned? Yeah, like cut straight to the jugular, like Gandhi style. I'm gonna fucking make salt on peaceful protest on the Indian coast when it was deemed illegal by the British. Dude, Gandhi kicked them out, bro. And I get if someone's gonna be like Gandhi's problematic and blah blah blah. I'm like, fuck off. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, let's just go for the meat. MLK cheated on his wife. Like, big deal. Who gives a fuck? Like, it's this purity shit is.
Malcolm X was a pimp. He would have been in jail for life.
Dude,
like, yeah. Everyone knows. Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
It's fucking dope, but
that's why. Yeah. I mean,
EIMP, dude. Yeah.
No, that's what the. Yeah, you're right.
So anyway, dude. So it's like, like when are we gonna? I get there's a time. I'm not like a pacifist per se in every moment. I'm not saying there isn't a time for fucking shit up. I think property, like fuck property, like car dealerships, whatever, like burn that shit to the ground. I don't care about that. Violence and infighting with people. That's when it gets gnarly. That's when shit gets bad and we're pitted against each other. But just peace, and not even peaceful protesting like lib shit where we're like,
who kneeled at this game tonight? Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm talking about peaceful protest that actually goes for the jugular, like Gandhi style shit, right? MLK shit, general strikes. Like, I hope that it evolves into that. Otherwise, it's just another fucking 20 years of, like you said, 20 years of Reaganism on both sides until some other crazy shit happens.
Ronald Reagan is running in both parties. That's why I don't like. That's exactly what it is. Trump is Reagan in his own right. He's a louder Reagan, and Biden is a more he's basically incapacitated mentally. So like he just kind of
like more Reagan than Reagan in some ways, dude.
Yeah, crazy, no, dude. Sure. And
took the baton, dude. It's
the relay. Yeah, just in the relay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jack.
Nope.
It's Ronald.
Yeah.
Yeah, but exactly. I guess like tying it back, like with the police brutality, it's like don't get tunnel vision on one issue. You have to see exactly like where does police brutality come from, like you said. Like the original police in like America were slave patrol. You know what I mean? Like it's
slave patrol, KKK.
Yeah, exactly. And like now, that being said, I will say like a lot of I do see some like kind of class reductionist people that are like, oh, those Proud Boys and all that kind of stuff. Like, no, they're fucking dangerous and the cops help them. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's bad.
Don't doubt it. Yeah.
Like I have a video like so there's definitely nuance to all this. And like, I'm not saying you can't fight for class issues and still say, fuck the fucking Proud Boys and go to bat, like go to bat with them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like go to bat and say like, I'm not saying even like link up with them because they're not even that big of a fucking group, honestly. Like when you really, what it really comes down to. So like I have this video
and a lot of them aren't even working class. They're like rich bros too.
They're
exactly.
Like media dudes, like they're grifters. Yeah. It's fucking stupid. Like no respect for them whatsoever. So like, like here, this is like, no, and this is just like a little thing. Like people were like calling out the cops and stuff like for fucking helping them out. Like,
you know what the cops told us today? They were like, we're going to push them down by you because you can deal with them.
Let me start that over. Sorry, guys.
You know what the cops told us today? They were like, we're going to push them down by you because you can deal with them. And then we're going to leave.
See?
And then as soon as they said
the second the shots fired, I had to tell like 6 people it wasn't fucking you guys.
Yeah. So like we fucking, as soon as they said that bullshit to us, people hurt. Oh, you're hurting.
So basically, cops are.
So what does that mean?
Cops are basically saying we're out of our hands. They're feeding the BLM protesters towards like the white nationalists.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Let you guys deal with them. So,
but why is that guy admitting that? That like, what's the context of that? I don't get that. I get the. Yeah.
I don't get it either, but then you do see the fucking cops giving food to them and shit. There's videos of that too, like giving food and water and stuff.
Bottles of water, dude. Here, let me crack this Alhambra for you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
we literally did that for that Rittenhouse kid. They're like, here's a fucking fresh water.
Dylan Roof got fucking Burger King on the way after shooting up a church. Like it's
Jesus.
Like I'm saying again, a lot of us agree on like 95% on the left of what we need to do. There's like a 5, maybe not 95, but like close to it. And there's just that little area we got to clear up, because it is important, right? It is important to not let identity get co-opted when you're trying to make a mass movement. You know what I mean? When you're trying to organize a general strike, when you're trying to get healthcare for everybody, trying to get free college, when you're trying to, defund the police, or at least slash the budget in half and then end capitalism, because you cannot defund the police under capitalism and expect police brutality to go down. You're going to get private police forces. You're going to get stuff like that, because you have to make it a list of demands, a huge movement, right? And when people who are poor and don't have healthcare, right? Like, look at those young patriots, right? A lot of them, or even now, maybe that's not a good example, but even now you see like people, I'm not talking about Proud Boys, I'm just talking about random people who were like kind of cringe when they see like oh, the LGBT struggle, this kind of stuff. They're like, I'm fucking poor, man. Like, I'm poor. Like, there's no, like, stop poverty. That's the number one thing. Stop poverty. Like, I'm saying, you will get that. Then you do that. One, I don't think it's even much of an issue anymore after that. I'm not saying it completely eradicates racism. It does not.
No. Well, I like it as a thought experiment. I always try and do this. Like,
let's try it and see if we're right. How about that?
Exactly. Well, and how? Yeah. In what's the quickest way? Well, like, if we were to handle all this shit, again, like, MLK was in the midst of it, and he evolved into this position. It's like, he obviously learned from his, he was trying to take it further, basically. And
I think he always was like that. And I think the repackaging of him was purely a peaceful, pacifist, identity politics centered thing. I think that's what we were packaged.
Yeah.
We were taught that about him. He was not that. He was
crazy.
pro-black. He was pro-black. He absolutely loved his identity. He absolutely stood for black people uprising and all that kind of stuff. But he wanted to get rid of poverty, because you cannot redistribute poverty and expect it to be sustainable to where your race is on top. It will not work.
Yeah. And the thing, he was looking down the line. Like, he knew that even if we solved every fucking race and class struggle in America, there's still billions of people that are starving on the planet.
Exactly.
And like they'll be the next fucking target. We got to get this shit at the jugular. And so, but yeah, I always wonder, like, it's a matrix of things. It's a multitudinal problem. It's you have the healthcare, you have the drug problem. Drugs are still illegal. They should all be fucking illegal, right? And like, we should have rehab clinics and counseling and shit like that. And no, America is like it has always been a fascist state, in the sense that the cops basically function as a private police force for the wealthy. The prison industrial complex, which is, dude, who's been running with that baton? It's the fucking, since the 90s. It's the Democrats, dude. Like, they have been architects of this shit, right?
Hello.
So it's like, and yet they hide behind that's the thing, is like, at least Republicans don't hide behind that shit.
It's mask off. It's as scary
dude.
as it is, as
exactly,
scary,
dude,
jarring as it is. It's mask off, man. It's mask off. And a lot of people I talk to, people of color and stuff like that, they'll say, like, I don't like either form of racism, but I hate when I find out low key that somebody's racist, more so than when the person's just shouting in the street, because I know where we stand.
Yeah.
So,
and I also want to just say, like, as an aside too, like, I'm also not stubborn enough. I'm not one of those bros, those white bros or whatever, that is like, nope, I'm completely perfect and not, have no issues, and like, I have no biases or whatever. I think we all have shit we got to work on and stuff.
Absolutely.
And it's like, but the people that make that, like the white fragility, Robin DiAngelo types, like the corporate, like, like, we're going to come in and tell you that there's nothing you can do to you always have to atone for your, like, the original sin type shit.
Crabs
right?
in a bucket. Keep fighting over this fucking book that I wrote, that I'm selling. You know what I mean?
Please, bro. It's so, yeah. And that's another PMC thing too. It's
exactly.
PMC bullshit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm not saying, like, we all should lean towards bettering ourselves and doing better. And like I don't say the N-word in rap lyrics anymore, like I did in fucking middle school and high school. Like, it's not that I was like,
oh my god,
this lie
detector's going off the charts. Oh my god,
polygraph.
God. No, okay. But
it's funny,
I think we're going pretty long here. I feel like we have been. I didn't.
We had a lot to.
We had a lot to digest. I just, like I said, again, we need to stop depending on like professional athletes to like stop doing their job, even though they have a huge platform. It's not enough to where they sit out a game, right? Maybe one cop gets arrested. It still hasn't even fucking happened. You know what I mean? Maybe one cop gets arrested, and then Obama tells him to get back to fucking work because he's got an ulterior motive.
Dude,
so
fuck Obama.
We can't depend on that. As workers, we have leverage. The problem is we got to put a lot of fucking things aside to use that leverage. And I'm not saying put your identity to aside. I'm just saying focus on the goal. Like focus on the goal, unify,
fight the right target,
and that's it. Like, and that's not some stupid like de-escalation tactics. Like, well, bro, we're all brothers. Like, we're not. We're not. Some of us don't like each other. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like, we all work for the most part. The working class is majority of America. We all work.
Run the machine.
We all need some of the same things. Some of us need more. You know what I mean? I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's it. I don't know. So like
and if you're against class reductionists, like fine, come on and beta us here, or take it up with Brianna Joy Gray, Aisha, take it up with
please come on here. I'm down to
take it up with it. Take it up with Ilhan Omar or Cory Bush or Bernie Sanders, who all have these same takes, who basically all have these basically the same take. Yeah, exactly.
And they don't ignore identity shit either. It's like they have a way.
Dude.
Yeah. So I think that's. You got anything else? I think I'm.
No, that was solid. Yeah,
solid episode. Man.
We got to do a next one. We'll do like a pure humor one because
we gotta be funny.
Yeah, we
gotta be funny. Everyone kept telling me they like the jokes. And
Beta.
I'm like, well, everyone kept telling me they like the jokes and the impressions, and I'm like, well, you're in for a shit show this week.
Yeah, here we go.
But no, I think this is an important episode, and as always, follow me on Twitter. I'm at Glenn Rockney, GlenRockney. He's at CryptoPsi, CryptoPsi, and we have a Twitter. I just started getting our Twitter going again. Like our actual.
Yeah, you're
Twitter.
doing good.
I need to keep that going. And that's at Rare Candy Pod 1. The 1 is important. And then we have a YouTube channel, Rare Candy. I still think we're getting cucked by that Pokemon podcast on iTunes, but I had some people say like all I see is that shitty Pokemon podcast.
It's on.
It's like all right, well. Yeah, we're gonna get that done. I have a podcast, Rock Vegas, and I want to get into some NFL gambling. So NFL's coming up soon. Definitely want to get into some NFL gambling. I might do like a quick 20-30 minute show on some picks for that. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where the primary viewing I think should be. But again, if you're an audio person, iTunes and Spotify. So that's it. All right, guys.